So I know I'm late to the party regarding this, and quite frankly, this script has been collecting dust in my files for a long time, and I've just been looking at my scripts like, if I don't do this now, I'm never gonna do it ever. I gotta do this. Let's talk about Fizban's Treasury of Dragons. Roll the intro. Greetings, fellow adventurers! Fred here, and welcome to the Flying Game Master, the show that brings RPGs to as many tabletops as humanly possible. I've said over a long time here on the channel that I'm a sucker for dragons, and you can bet when WotC inevitably released was announced Fizban's Treasury of Dragons, I would be all over this. And quite frankly, in a lot of instances, I am. And we're gonna be talking about the good, the bad, and the ugly regarding in this tome of dragon content for 5e. So, without further preamble, let's dive into it. Kicking things off, I would be remiss if I didn't talk about the Drake Warden subclass for the Ranger, or at least as far as its official release goes. For those new to the channel, I did a while back an overview of the Unearthed Arcana version of this, but this is where the official version dropped for the public, and quite frankly, as far as I can tell, not a whole heck of a lot has changed. Though I do think riding your Drake companion is a thing that is new in the official release. Like, you've got the ability to ride it on the ground at 7th level and 15th in terms of flying. But basically, when it comes to the Drake Warden, and at least as far as official is concerned, my stance on it is very close, if not the same, as it was to the Unearthed Arcana, as a more of an I'll take it. It's not perfect, in my opinion, but I feel there's some good fun to be had if I allow my creative mind to flex a little bit and see what it can do. Moving on, we have the gifts of the chromatic, metallic, and gem dragons, respectfully. Hey guys, editing desk Fred here, realizing that as I was saying this, I realized I didn't tell you guys what the gifts of the 3 dragon types do. So I'm gonna do that right here, right now, real quick. So. Kicking this off with the Chromatic Dragon feat, as a bonus action, once per long rest, you can infuse a weapon strike with your choice of acid, cold, fire, or lightning, or poison damage. And it also allows you to take a reaction to resist to the same types of damage. The gift of the Metallic Dragon lets you learn and use Cure Wounds without a spell slot. Once you cast the spell in that way, you gotta wait a long rest to do it again, but you can use what spell slots you have to use. Cure Wounds, and it gives you the ability to cast a pair of spectral protective wings on you or an ally within 5 feet of you. That can also be used once per long rest. And lastly, the gift of the Gem Dragon gives you a buff to your call of Intelligence, Wisdom, or Charisma, maximum of 20 by 1. And Telekinetic Reprisal, which once per a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus per long rest. You can basically send a telekinetic wave at an enemy within 10 feet of you that did damage to you. That can send them back on a successful on a failed save of maximum 10 feet away you and take 2d10 force, 2d force damage, 2d8 force damage. So all in all, the Chromatic Dragon ability gives you more damage and resistance to elemental attacks. The Metallic Dragon gives you more healing and protection, and the Gem Dragon gives you a mental buff and Fusro Da. With that out of the way, back to the original video. Now, I can understand a DM's decision to have players choose 1 feat between the three if given the option, and that choice locks them out of the other two. But personally, I wouldn't do that as a DM myself, because I would feel like like getting all 3 feats on one character would give you would earn the respect of the dragons for your character. Now, would they become progressively harder to obtain? Yes, but I wouldn't lock them out of them. That's just how I roll. At the halfway point, we have the Golden Dragon Lair. Just the Golden Dragon's Lair. I love the layout of this that they gave in the book. It not only gives a cool dragon lair, period. It also has off to the side some apartments that can be used by the dragon's friends and allies, which that alone gives me a lot of creative freedom that goes through my head. It's just how my brain works, just latching onto particular details and just rolling with them. Almost to the end, and steeping equipment in the power of a dragon's hoard to make it more powerful and give it more abilities that can be enhanced. And I really think this is a cool idea. It reminds me in a similar vein to the enchanting system in Skyrim, only the recharging takes a bit longer, but something in my head that just popped in as I was reading this section is an idea that kinda is a hybrid of this and the enchanting system in Skyrim, where you can also have these gems that you can just hold the magic from a dragon's hoard in, and if your weapon needs a recharge, just apply the gem to it and the energy is transferred. Is it possibly an OP idea? Maybe. But it was just something I thought of nonetheless. Feel free to steal it and tweak it if you wish. And last but not least, we have Draconic Gifts. Now, I'll be honest, some of these seem like a step down from straight up feats, and in a number of cases feels like a cop out to cut back on the amount of feats we actually get. That being said, where one can get these feats, this is where I find the idea of Draconic Gifts more interesting. There may be a video of me reskinning feats as Draconic Gifts. I don't know. I'll just have to see how that script works out. But the idea of either killing a dragon, completing a quest for a dragon, bathing in a dragon's blood in general, I find that the Draconic Gifts, or at least the means of obtaining them, are a lot more interesting than the Draconic Gifts themselves. So I think I'm going to be having a lot of fun with this concept myself. Overall, while I feel there is some fun to be had with this book in terms of inspiration for creative ideas, in terms of what can be done in a dragon-oriented D&D campaign, this book is not without its drawbacks. And the biggest glaring thing for me in terms of Fizban's Treasury of Dragons is the audacity for WotC to name drop and reference the Dragonlance universe multiple times throughout this book. I'll put on the screen somewhere a total count that I have of the amount of times Dragonlance is either name dropped or referenced. And keep in mind, this book came out around the same time that the writing duo of Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman were suing WotC and Hasbro, or just WotC, I can't remember, it's been a while. Correct me down in the comments if you're able to. Basically, I'm sure that a lot of this was written before the lawsuit ensued, but wasn't there any proofreaders on this thing who was looking like guys? It may be a bad idea to mention Dragonlance in here. This might piss a few people off because of the lawsuit that's going on, and they just put it in. So I was like, come on, WotC, at this point you're just trolling us with this. I don't know if I'll do a Dragonlance and X of the Dragon Queen. Can't remember the exact title off the top of my head. I'll just put it on screen here somewhere. But all in all, while yes, books in at this point in D&D 5e were not that great. It seemed like they were just putting it out because the fans wanted it and didn't care how much they had to half-ass it to get it out. But regardless of whether there's not a lot of great stuff in this book, or the book in general isn't well liked, I still think even those kinds of books have some stuff that can be salvaged out of it for your own games. If you're willing to put in the the mental thought behind it. But with that, we are going to wrap up. Let me know down in the comments and what you think of Fizban's Treasury of Dragons. And before I let you go, I'm going to turn you over to Noctis for the usual spiel. Oh, Noctis?
Thank you, Fred, and thank you all for coming by if you are returning viewers. If you are new around here, still thank you, and be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to keep up to date with everything we're doing here on the channel. You can also check out the channel's Linktree page where you can find us on Twitch, check out our social media, and if you think we've earned it, consider supporting us on Patreon and Throne and so on. Now, back to you, Fred.
Thanks for that, Noctis, and thank you all for watching. We hope to see you on the Trail of Adventure.